Sup everyone, XCW Wilo WA2 80s here, and today we're racing at Interlagos for one of the other cup races. So everybody's driving the same car in this race, the Gr.3 Supra. On pole we have Steve Gaming, very quick driver. And in P3 we have Gatas. In P4 we can see Seb. And we are starting this race in P8. Bit further back than I would have liked, but still quite an okay position I would say. So let's see what we can do from there. Jena Sable as well in this race in P14. So everybody is standing in their grid positions, so you can just guess that it's a standing start. So let's try to get away well. See, so we have an okay start, but the cars in front seem to get not so good off the line. So up to P6 we go. As we can see behind, some bumping going on, and as the car hits the back of our car, but luckily we managed to survive it, as they still have some contact behind us. So luckily we managed to avoid all of that. And up to P6, so that's quite a good start. Let's now try to hold on for now and try to keep up with the cars in front. So yeah, very crucial for us to keep ourselves out of that battle for with the cars behind. Otherwise we will have dropped away some time, which is very costly in this race. So we have a major slide. Luckily we managed to save it. Already we can see how easy it is to lose the car. That would have been an early case of race done if you spin onto the first lap all by yourself. Luckily you managed to save it. But right behind Robbie now, the Italian. Can we go for a move? As we take a look to the inside, but yeah, that's not going to work. Too far back, so we just have to slot back in behind. But will we have another opportunity? Another long straight coming up. So can we do it here? Right into the slipstream. As he defends the inside, we have to go through the outside. At least try, but seems like it's going to be very difficult. As the Joker outbrakes himself and runs to the back of us, or yeah, to the side of us. And also he gets pushed off the track. So that's the second time we get hit by the Joker. Must think I'm Batman or something like that. I don't know. And frustratingly enough, it has dropped us away 2 positions. With no fault of our own, nothing we could do with that contact. As you can see, the guy in P7 just spins off into the barrier. So that managed to at least gain that position back. So that's a very special kind of penalty that he had. Just a crash on his own. Yeah, actually surprised that he didn't get a penalty from the contact that he made with us, because yeah, he clearly outbraked himself and we lost a lot of time with the contact he made with our car. But we're back up to P7, so yeah, not lost too much I would say. Still possible to fight back from here, luckily. as we are still in the long train of cars ahead of us. But looks like P1 has managed to run away. Steve Gaming, yeah, he's a very quick driver. Also a regular in the top split races, so you just know how difficult it will be to beat someone like that. So just have to keep it in the train of cars right now. Try to follow them around and hope that they don't drop away from each other too much. And crucially, try to stay in their slipstream. And also important to know for this race is that we don't have to change tires, so no pit stops are expected because we're driving onto the hard tires and they should survive for all the laps as we go alongside the German. Can we make the move? Side by side, but he just managed to stay around the outside. So we drop back down to, oh yeah, we stay in P7. And back to the slipstream we go. Can we now try and make that move work? As we're right alongside him and we have the inside with the corner, just managed to brake a bit later and up to P6 we go. So we're back where we started right now. Also the two cars in front going side by side. It looks like we can gain some time on them from that. As they're still right alongside each other. So great battle by them. It seems like Robbie is going to come out on top. But we're going to try around the outside. Very optimistic move to make. But it didn't work out. And luckily the spare didn't push us off into the grass as well. So we give him a slight nudge. Unintentional of course, because we're a bit unexpected by the early braking he did. Thought he would brake a little bit later, but slight contact, but no major issues I would say. So right into the slipstream right now, and a bit of a misunderstanding which caused us to bump him into the back. So we defend the inside and keep our 6th position luckily. So it seems like the Spare is really struggling right now in the race because he's starting P2 and already down to P5 right now. Don't know what happened before this lap of course. Maybe he got shoved wide into the start or something like that, but seems like he's dropping away from the cars in front. So that just gives us a signal that we have to try and go for a move him as well, so that we don't drop too far back from the cars in front. Still want to try to get into the running for the podium positions and see how far up we can get in this race. Also crucial to not use too much of our tires, because we want them to last the distance of course. German, it seems like he's fallen back a little bit, so we don't have to be so cautious anymore that he's going to try and overtake us. And we also have the slipstream, so we should have no issue on this straight. And looking behind, we can see the Danish guy going through the inside of the German, right alongside each other. And as they're still fighting, but it seems like the Danish guy is going to gain a position from the German. So right now we have a new car trying to catch us up. So that's something to look out to. Maybe he's a lot quicker than German, we just don't know. Always have to be very cautious once the positions behind you change. Seems like his parent has once again found his pace back because he's closing in towards the Italian in front. So that's good. That's good news for him and for us as well, because we can just hang on to the back of him and don't have to necessarily try to overtake him already. Because once we start battling, we might lose a lot of time towards the Italian and the other two cars in front of that. As we have a big gap right now towards the Danish driver. Already 6 lap done. Time is really flying. Slight mistake from the Italian in the first corner, which managed for the Spaniard to catch up. So we're on to the Italian Robbie train, following him along. It seems like the gap is really opening up a bit. So not quite what we want to see, but we're still going to do our best to save our tires and see what will happen during the race. But impossible to try something with the strategy, because there are no pit stops, so everything we're going to have to try and do to gain positions will have to be on track. So just pure racing, as the Spaniard tries to go around the outside. A little bit of contact, but all seems still alright. As the Spaniard once again has a slipstream, but it seems like he's not going to manage to make a move. It's very fun to watch this battle, but of course it seems like the two cars in front are running away. So very fun to watch, but not so much fun for our race. As the Spaniard tries to go to the inside, and we're going to try optimistically around the outside, but that was never going to work, I guess. But yeah, still trying anyway. You never know what happens. If you maybe find some grip around the outside or something like that. And we can also show that we're still there, so that he doesn't forget us. So the gaps have opened up a bit towards Robbie right now. But the slipstreams will change that from both of our cars. So the Spaniard has now closed up as he makes a slight mistake. Probably too early onto the throttle, which caused him to slide. As we go side by side with him right now. As the next corner goes to the inside, let's see what will happen. Right alongside each other, but we just have to leave enough space for the Spaniard. And seems like he managed to do it. Round the outside, keep his 5th position. Well played by the Spaniard. So let's now try to catch up once again towards the Italian Robbie. As the Spaniard just makes another slight mistake, which caused us to lose again some time onto the Italian. It's a bit of an awkward position, which caused us to brake a lot, so we lost a little bit of time. as the Spaniard goes wide again. So this is a message that he's just start to make some mistakes. And this may be the right opportunity for us to try and go for an overtake on the Spaniard. And as well, looking behind, it's looking not very good because the cars behind have managed to catch up. That's just not what we want to see. So I want to go and try to go for the overtake. Going right alongside the Spaniard. Can we outbrake him into the first corner? And through the inside we go, up to 5th position. So it seems like our move worked. And it also helped that the Spaniard didn't have the slipstream. And so up to P5 we go. And right now we have the task ahead of us to try and catch up towards Robbie. As he goes a little bit wide. So we're really going to use our tires right now to try and catch up. Very crucial part of the race right now to try and manage to get back towards the back of his car. We don't want him to run away. And we also want to put a little bit of a gap towards the cars behind us, so that we don't end up in that large group of cars that was at the back of our car at the previous lap. So it seems like we managed to catch up a little bit through the corners, but I don't think it's quite enough. Or enough to have the slipstream at least. So yeah, I don't think it has quite worked. It's quite enough to get into the slipstream, so we'll have to defend from the Spaniard. As we defend the inside, he's trying to go around the outside, but we managed to hold it through the first corner. Luckily, because we don't want to battle him too hard, because we want to catch up towards Robbie, of course. Once we start battling too much, we will just lose too much time towards him and we'll never be able to catch that back up. A little bit of a bump from the Spaniard behind, so that was very kind of him. So let's hope he wants to work with us to try and catch him back up. So you can see Robbie going a bit wide into the grass and sliding around, spinning, and into the barrier he goes. So up to P4 we are right now. So that was much easier than I expected, that we get our fourth position back. Expected it to be a hard fight to get back to his slipstream. But it has so easily happened. One mistake and off you go. So right now we find ourselves in 4th position, but the gap is very big towards the podium positions, as we have the Spaniard right now behind us. So will he try to attack us right now? Because yeah, the Italian is gone, and it looks very unlikely that we're going to catch up towards the Greek and the Frenchman in front of us, because they're quite far ahead. But the danger is, if we both battle too hard, that the cars behind us will catch up. And that we both lose further positions in this race, which we don't want to do. We also had quite a good season in this Toyota Cup, and 4 races count out of the 7. Already had 3 quite good results, so we just want some solid points in this race. So let's hope we manage to bring home a good result. For the race I was thinking about something like top 6. So let's hope we can manage that to finish in the top 6 this race. Or hopefully higher, of course, but yeah, that was the goal I had before the race. Because we started in 8th position. So 6th place seemed quite good at that point. As we have the Spaniard behind us, and it seems like he's bumping us along once again. So we're very lucky with that. Hopefully we can both run away from the cars behind. Very nice to see a driver working together with you, because it's something you can both benefit from. As we just indicate, say thank you to him. Also Interlagos, one of my better tracks on the game, I would say. Always love to drive here. Nice flowing track as well. So let's hope we can bring a good result home at the end of the race. As you can just start to see in corners like this one that our tires are starting to suffer. So after this we have 5 more laps to go. And we can see the long train of cars behind us. So it's still not over yet for bringing our 4th position home. So Spaniard's still working together with us, luckily. So we're still pushing as hard as we can, because we want to keep the gap as big as possible. We don't want a large train to form behind our car. Because then it's much easier to lose much positions at the end of the race. Because if one car overtakes you, you just get forced offline, which gives the next car in the line an opportunity to go for a move. And at that rate you can easily lose 3 or 4 positions in a couple of corners. Still can see P2 and P3 into the distance, and P1 long gone. So that's someone we want to see again in this race, the leader, Steve Gaming. As we have the Spaniard right now, once again behind us. As he's still working together with us. So very nice driving by the Spaniard, but yeah, I'm quite surprised that he doesn't go for a move actually. Because I feel like he could be a little bit faster maybe, because our tires are starting to suffer. Or maybe he just feels more comfortable behind us, we don't know. Could also be beneficial to save our tires a bit once you're behind, as we make a slight mistake through the corner. A little bit of slide, also because our tires are getting quite old. And the Spaniard into the slipstream, as he just has his nose to the inside, and we just have to give him the space. It's quite inevitable eventually that he was going to make that move. So we're not going to be too aggressive about that position, because the Spaniard has worked with us all race. So very crucially, we need to try and stay into the slipstream. It was very difficult after these corners, because we just have a little bit less grip probably than the car in front of us, because we have used up a lot of our tires trying to catch up towards the podium positions. But luckily we just had the slipstream, it seems like, and the Danish guy has dropped back a little bit. slight mistake by El Chiqui, the Spaniard, and which helped us to close up towards the back of him. We don't want to bump him here because very risky in the braking zone that we don't run him off. That's the last thing we want to do after such a great race with him. So once again, getting through the corner section of Interlagos. Crucial right now to try and keep up. Seems like we're doing a better job this time than last lap. So right now it's all about staying at the back of El Chiqui 11 and not let him run away too far. Oh, big slide. Luckily you managed to catch it. That was very close. And that cost us a little bit of time. But it seems like we just still into the slipstream, luckily. Which was very crucial. And on the braking we managed to close up again. So still not over yet. Very crucial to stay there so that we still have the chance for a third position at the end of the race. You just never know what happened or what happens, because yeah, you can see that lap where I overtook him. He just made some mistakes in that lap, so you just don't know if that's going to happen again. But I think on pure pace right now he's a little bit quicker than us. Also crucial for our 5th position to stay where we are right now, because if we drop back too far, these guys will be right on our tail, which will cause us to lose more positions. And of course we don't want that. As we're approaching the final lap right now, get a little bit better to the corner than last lap. Would have been quite dramatic to crash there to the 2 laps before the finish. Final lap, let's now try to really close in towards the P4, because we still want to try and go for the position if we can. It will be very hard, but we're still going to try. But the tires are quite giving up because we had to lift through the fast corner. Something which we don't had to do into the first part of the race. So we can gain something out of the slipstream, but seems like not enough. But also P2 and P3 are coming into our sights, as P2 has a penalty, it seems like. You see just a red bar appearing on his name. And I can't see from here how much that penalty is, so maybe we might have a slight opportunity to gain a position here. We don't know how much of a penalty he has. Chiqui also making a slight mistake, going a bit wide through the previous to last corner. So we managed to close it a little bit, but definitely not enough. So can we get any benefit from the current P2 with a penalty? He needs a big penalty to lose a position to us, but still, let's see if we can gain that 4th position. No, just not able, it seems like. But still, we end up in 5th position. So quite an okay result, and very happy with that. We'll definitely take the points from this race. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully see you next time.